A hedge fund manager raped a biker president's 16-year-old daughter and posted the video online, thinking his governor father made him untouchable. He was dead wrong. Dominic was torquing an engine bolt when his phone exploded. Sarah's voice came through broken. "Maya's at Sacred Heart Medical. There's a video. Everyone's seen it." Dominic dropped his wrench. "What video?" "Just come now." 60 steel demons roared through city streets. Cops pulled over. They knew what that many Raven riders meant. Maya was unconscious in a hospital bed. Sarah collapsed beside her, mascara streaking like war paint. "What happened?" Dominic's voice was ice.
"There was
Dr.
too much
Reynolds
damage."
pulled him aside. "Your daughter was
afraid he's
drugged
gone.
and assaulted while being filmed. The video is online." The hallway went silent, deadly silent. Who? Kyle Blackwood. Governor Blackwood's son. Every rider knew that name. Governor Blackwood owned judges and cops. His son Kyle had 2 prior assault charges. Both disappeared. Or so they thought. Maya woke up 3 hours later. "Dad, I can't go back to school. Everyone's seen it. I want to disappear." Dominic knelt beside her. "You're not disappearing, but someone else is. Please don't. He's the governor's son. I won't do anything stupid. I'll do something smart." That night, the Raven Riders held church. 60 men. The air was thick with smoke and violence. "The system won't touch this kid," Dominic said. Hammer stood. "When do we move?" "First. Information. Phantom, you're up." Phantom pulled out his laptop. "Give me 72 hours. What Phantom found made grown men sick. "Boss, Kyle has 28 videos. 28 different girls. All unconscious. Going back 6 years. The room erupted. Men shouted. Someone punched a wall. Text messages too. "He's bragging. Finally bagged the biker's daughter. Dad says he'll handle any blowback. These low-life families don't matter." Someone kicked a chair. "Download everything," Dominic ordered. The Raven Riders watched Kyle for 5 days, every Thursday. Kyle hit Harborside Lounge. He'd drink until 1 a.m., then stagger to his BMW. They chose Thursday, November 21st. Kyle left Harborside at 1:15 a.m. Drunk, he handed his key fob to a valet in a red vest, except Harborside didn't have valets. The valet drove Kyle's BMW round the corner. 12 motorcycles surrounded it, engines rumbling. Kyle's door was yanked open. A hood went over his head. "My father is Governor Blackwood. Your daddy isn't here." 30 minutes later, Kyle was zip-tied to a chair in an abandoned foundry. No windows. Phantom's jammers killed all phones. Dominic sat facing him. Between them was a laptop. "You drugged my 16-year-old daughter. You raped her. You filmed it. You posted it online." Kyle's bravado cracked. "I have money. 5 million, 10. I don't want money." "Then what?" "I want you to confess." They filmed Kyle's confession for 47 minutes. Phantom showed him everything they had. All 28 videos. All the messages. Proof of his father's cover-ups. Kyle sang. Every victim. Every payoff. Every crime. "There. I confessed. Let me go." Dominic stood. "We're letting you go. But first, you owe a debt." Hammer and blade wheeled into buckets. "Honey." "No, no, no." They cut away his clothes. His $3,000 suit. His Rolex. His Princeton ring. "You like making videos. We're making one too." They poured honey over Kyle's head. Slowly, he screamed as it covered every inch of his body. Then came crushed safety glass. Tiny fragments. Stuck to the honey and sparkled like a disco ball made of nightmares. "Please stop." "Did Maya ask you to stop?" Dominic's voice was quiet. Kyle went silent. They filmed everything. Kyle covered in honey and glass, weeping, looking like an alien creature. This video goes everywhere, every news outlet, every social media platform. "No, that will destroy my life, like you destroyed 28 lives." Torch stepped forward with a tattoo gun. The buzzing filled the foundry. "Hold still. This is going to hurt." They tattooed rapist across Kyle's chest. Massive black letters. Permanent. Kyle screamed until his voice gave out. "You can't do this. Call the cops. Tell them how you got H.R." At dawn, they threw Kyle out on Pinebrook Country Club's lawn. Naked except for honey and glass. Rapist branded on his chest. A club employee found him at 6:30 a.m. By 11 a.m., everything was online. Kyle's confession, the 28 videos, the messages, the corruption, but also Kyle covered in honey and glass, marked and weeping. The internet went nuclear. Within 2 hours, Kyle was trending everywhere. Memes were created. TikToks went viral. Kyle became the most humiliated man in America. Governor Blackwood tried damage control. You can't spin 28 victims and a recorded confession. The FBI had no choice. Kyle was arrested at 4 p.m. Governor Blackwood resigned 72 hours later. He was found dead 7 days after that. Apparent suicide. Kyle's bail hearing was a circus. He walked in wearing a button-up shirt. The judge had none of it. Mr. Blackwood, remove your shirt. Your Honor, remove it. Kyle unbuttoned slowly. The entire courtroom gasped. Rapist. Massive black letters. Impossible to hide. Your Honor, my client was tortured. Do you have proof of who did this? Kyle stared at his feet. If he answered, he'd have to explain where he was and why. Mr. Blackwood. Silence. Bail denied. The defendant is deemed dangerous. In prison, Kyle learned inmates have their own code. Men who hurt women are the lowest form of life. The tattoo made him an instant target. Kyle lasted 3 days before begging for protective custody. Now Kyle sits in a 6x8 cell 23 hours a day. The 28 girls came forward. The trial lasted for weeks. Kyle Blackwood got 75 years in federal prison. The Foundry video was never traced to the Raven Riders. Officially, Kyle was attacked by unknown vigilantes. Unofficially, everyone knew who delivered justice. Dominic visited Kyle once. Kyle was hollow. The tattoo had been partially lasered, but the scarring still spelled the word. You destroyed my life. No, you destroyed your own life. You destroyed 28 lives before yours. We just made sure everyone knew what you are. Your daughter, is she okay? That's none of your concern. I'm sorry. You're sorry you got caught. Sorry you're not untouchable. Sorry Daddy couldn't save you. The Raven Riders never faced charges. No evidence linked them. Kyle Blackwood became a cautionary tale. The untouchable governor's son who learned that some justice doesn't come from courtrooms. It comes from fathers who love their daughters more than they fear consequences. The honey washed off. The glass was removed. But the video lives forever. Kyle crying, confessing, covered in honey and glass. Every few months it resurfaces. Goes viral again. His shame refreshed for new generations. In his cell, Kyle counts days. 75 years equals 27,375 days. He served 892. Only 26,483 remaining. The Raven Riders still ride, still protect, still deliver justice when systems fail. Because sometimes the law isn't enough. Sometimes evil needs to be humiliated, marked, and caged. Sometimes a governor's son needs to learn that real power doesn't come from political connections. It comes from righteous fury and brothers who refuse to let evil win. Kyle learned that lesson covered in honey and glass, crying like the coward he always was. The word rapist might have faded from his chest, but it's burned into his soul forever. That's what happens when you hurt a biker's daughter. That's what real justice looks like. If you appreciate stories where evil faces consequences, hit like and subscribe.